Welcome back. So, if you tuned in to the previous episode, talked a little bit about required minimum distributions. But today, I want to talk a little bit about retirement age. Now, when you talk about these concepts, retirement, what are they really where do they come from? And what you really need to think about is it comes from a system that we're all born into. And that's this idea that you go to school, you essentially get your education, you take that education, you apply it to a job, you work that job for however many years it takes until you can actually retire. And usually, the retirement age that's usually thrown around is, let's say, 65 to 67, right? So that's the retirement age. Now, that's based on what the system tells you. That doesn't necessarily have to be aligned with what you actually want. So, just like any information, you had to look at the source. Where does it actually come from? So, when you look at retirement age, what are the benefits that actually come with retirement? Well, if you live in the United States, that is Social Security. So, Social Security is this idea that, okay, after you worked, you know, until you're 65 or 67, or maybe a little bit earlier, you can actually claim Social Security. And Social Security is going to be a stipend that the government actually gives you for all the years that you worked, essentially as additional money to live on. Now, if you look at how much it is in comparison to how much you were making, it may not be enough. And a lot of folks are approaching, or when they approach retirement, they have these ideas of what they're actually going to do in their retirement. And if they don't do any planning, when they actually find out what's left for them, that can be a rude awakening. So the reason I wanted to talk about this idea of retirement age is it's something that you can identify. And the terms of it are something that you actually want to understand as well. So, what is it that you are retiring for, or what is it you're retiring from? And sometimes that's just, let's say, a job where your body just can't take it anymore. Mentally, you're exhausted. You're just ready to check out, right? And so, for folks that have done that for decades, and hopefully, they've loved what they actually have done, they just said, you know what, enough's enough. I need to do something else. I need to do a different trade, something with maybe just more flexible hours, just something that kind of just allows me to take it easy a little bit. All right. So maybe they do a shift in one way or another. But retirement age is actually important because when you consider life expectancy with retirement age, then all of a sudden there's a crystal ball that actually shows you something that may not have been as apparent. And the whole idea of life expectancy is how long, again, no one knows how long they're going to live, but when you look at the averages, how long do the averages say you're actually going to live? And if you look at those numbers for the US, males live to an average about the age of 76 and females to about the age of 82. So if you consider retirement age 65 to 67, I don't know where all your good years have gone, but if you look at the years that are left, you get 10 years to pretty much live through your retirement to do whatever it is you may have wanted to do. But the question is, why wait? Why does that retirement age number have such a big impact? Because most folks look at it as a reason they can stop what they're doing and then switch or pivot into what they actually do want to do. And the news that I want to share with you now is there should be nothing stopping you from doing what it is that you actually want to do. But you actually have to plan and lay out how that would actually be possible. Now, this is not something that I can give you the answer to. It may not be something that you have an answer to yourself yet, but asking the question is probably the most important thing you can actually do as a part of the process. Why? Because your imagination will actually help fill in those gaps. And so the first place I would start, and I actually gave this advice, I actually got this advice from a book, did it myself, and actually give this advice all the time for someone who is unsure of what it is that they actually want to do or what they should be doing, is write out the perfect day. What is your perfect day? It does not matter if it's a perfect day in retirement. It's just a perfect day in general. A perfect day at your current job, a perfect day maybe without your current job, whatever that is, what is it? Because once you actually write out what that perfect day is, those are all the elements that you should be incorporating as a part of your day. And if it can't happen immediately, you want to slowly turn the dial so you're incorporating those things as a part of your day. Now, you start doing that, and then all of a sudden your world actually starts to change. Because the first thing is when you do what you actually want to do, you're showing passion, you're showing energy, and that does a lot. It does a lot as far as getting your metabolism going, having you be happy, sending out good vibes. That may give you a longer life expectancy in and of itself. Because if you're doing something that is just draining you day in and day out, odds are, that's gonna, literally suck the life out of you. So that's the first thing. You want to find something you actually love doing, that you enjoy doing, and you have to identify what that is. So the lesson, I guess, to start, when you consider retirement age, don't look at the age as a limiting factor of, when I reach this age, then I'll do these things, because you do not know how long you actually have. So write out that perfect day now. It should not take you very long. If it does, you can change it, you can iterate on it, doesn't matter. But write out that perfect day, and then let your mind fill in the gaps of how that is actually going to happen. And if you're not sure of that process and how it actually works, I just talked about FTF goals. FTF goals is a great place to start. I've been using it for all of the ideas and the goals and the dreams that I've actually had, to actually make them and turn them into reality. And all it really starts with is something that you want. So write out that perfect day, incorporate the things that you actually want, and start there so you get a better understanding of what it is that you're actually shooting for. And I guarantee once you do that, everything else starts to fit in place. So appreciate you tuning into this lesson. Remember, retirement age isn't something that should be dictated for you. It should be dictated by you. So hope you appreciate this lesson, and hope you stay tuned for the next one. Okay, have a good rest of the day. Write that letter. All right, bye.